What's going on, guys? Today we're talking about two different headphones, and that is the OpenRun Pro and the OpenRun, formerly known as the AeroPix. What's the difference between these two? Which one should you get? We'll find out in this video. Alright guys, so SHOKZ did send these headphones for me to review, but in no part I'm going to do a positive or negative review. It's my own thoughts on these products, and these are very similar items. Like, this is the old one. They're also known as the AeroPix. They're now known as the OpenRuns, and then these over here are the OpenRun Pros. This is their premier headphones. These used to be their premier headphones. Now there's a big difference in price. This is about $50 cheaper than these. What's the difference between these two besides the price? Let's go over that right now. So first off, let's take a look at the looks of these headphones. These, for lack of a better term, are the headphones of the OpenRuns right here. And then you can see when you compare them, the OpenRun Pro is a little bit bigger than the AfterShokZ or the OpenMove. That's because the OpenRun Pros have two additional bass drivers on them, making them more bassier than the AeroPix. I'm just going to refer to the OpenRuns as AeroPix and then these over here as the OpenRun Pro, just so it's not confusing because they are very similarly named. But the AfterShokZ aren't as bassy as the OpenRun Pros just because it doesn't have those two additional drivers. Is that a good thing? I think if you do like a little bit more bass, you definitely feel it and hear it more than on the AeroPix. But on the OpenRun Pro, even though it is bassier, it sounds a little bit more muddled when you compare it to the AeroPix. I feel like the AeroPix, you hear the trebles or the highs a little bit better than on these. So there is that difference. And there is a mode where you can change it to like a podcast mode and then the music mode if you want it. But all in all, I feel like it is still more muddled up when you compare it to the AeroPix, the older generation. I think these are the 8th or 9th generation, and these are like the 7th and 8th generations of SHOKZ headphones. The next thing that I talk about is the sound quality from them, because we're talking about the drivers already. I feel like the sound on the OpenRun Pro is a little bit softer than the AeroPix. The AeroPix is gonna be a little bit louder and clearer than these. And because these are a little muddled up, I feel like these just sound a little better. And it's a preference thing. Maybe you guys like the more bassier, more muddled up sound, but for me, I think I like the AeroPix just a little bit better. And the next thing you have to look at whenever you look at the headphones itself are this part. So I'm assuming this part right here is the drivers right here for the headphones. This part is going to be a little bit shorter when you compare it to the AeroPix. So this one is a tad bit bigger. When you compare the titanium neck liner right here to it, they're pretty much the same. And I feel like the fit of these are exactly the same. I haven't noticed a big difference. They're both super comfortable. Whenever you are wearing them, you'll eventually feel like they're not even there. So they are very, very comfortable. Big negligible difference when you talk about that. Both these headphones are still charged by the proprietary charger right here. If you guys see that, it is magnetic, so that is cool. The AeroPix, you charge it on the back, if you guys can see that, and then on the OpenRun Pro, it's on the bottom of that little driver thing over here. So not a big difference. And then as far as buttons, the buttons are exactly the same on both of them. They both have the same buttons that you're used to. Over here is going to be your stop and play the music on that side, and then on this side is going to be your power, and then your plus volume and your minus volume over there on that side. So that hasn't changed at all. All right, so I also feel like the weight of these are pretty much the same. It may be a little bit lighter on the AeroPix just because it has less drivers than the OpenMove Pro, but that's gonna be it. The next thing we're gonna talk about is the charging. On the OpenRun Pros, you charge it for 5 minutes, you'll get about an hour's worth of music out of it. And then on the AfterShokZ, the AeroPix ones, if you charge it for 10 minutes, you'll get about an hour worth of music on it as well. So if you want your device to charge faster, definitely choose the OpenRun Pros over the OpenRuns or the AeroPix. And then the battery life of the OpenRun Pro is gonna last you 10 hours, and the AeroPix is gonna last you about 8 hours. So a 2-hour difference in there. All right, so let's go over the call quality of each of them. So first off, we'll talk about the call quality with no noise at all. Let's take a listen. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. How do I sound on these? These are the OpenMove Pros. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. These are the OpenMove or the AfterShokZ. Alright, so for me in my ears, I feel like the OpenRun Pros sound a little bit clearer, not as teeny as the AeroPex or the OpenRuns. It sounds just a little bit better. And then let's listen to it with a little bit of background noise. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. These are the OpenMove Pros. 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. These are the OpenMove or AfterShokz. Again, I think that both of them handle them well, but again, I think the OpenRun Pros sound just a little bit better when compared to the AeroPex or OpenRuns. So let's listen to it with some wind noise. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. These are the OpenMove Pros with wind noise. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. These are the AfterShokz or So as you can see, both of these kind of didn't sound the greatest, but again, the OpenRun Pros are going to sound just a tad bit better than the OpenRuns or the AeroPexes. Alright, so as far as call quality, I definitely got to give that to the OpenRun Pros. It did sound a ton better on them, but again, whenever I talk to Anna with these things on, she doesn't complain about the AeroPex or the OpenRun Pros, but for sure, for call quality, it goes to the OpenRun Pros. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the IP ratings of these headphones. Let's go over the IP rating of the OpenRun Pros first. The OpenRun Pros have an IP rating of IP55. And what does that mean? An IP rating of IP55 means that it is protected against dust that could interfere with the normal operations of the product, but is not fully dust tight. The product is completely protected against solid objects. It is also protected against water just projected by a nozzle 6.3 millimeters from any angles. So these aren't quite waterproof. If you are looking for a more waterproof headphones, the OpenRuns are going to be the ones for you. These have an IP rating of IP67. And what does that mean? An IP67 rating means it is fully dust tight and is completely protected against solid objects. It is also protected against water immersion at a depth of 15 centimeters and 1 meter for a maximum of 30 minutes. So these, you pretty much probably could go swimming in them. You could take a shower with them. The OpenRun Pros, I would probably take them off. If you are into taking showers with your headphones, definitely go with these. Or if you're out in the rain, I would be wary about wearing these OpenRun Pros out in the rain. These OpenMoves or AeroPexes are going to be the way to go if you are worried about water getting into your headphones. All right, so that's all the information that you're going to get from me about these OpenRun Pros and OpenRuns. Which one would I get? Again, there is a big price difference between these two. These are $179, the OpenRun Pros, and then the OpenRuns will cost you about $129, so there's a $50 difference. Which one would I get? Which one would I recommend? I think for me, you know, AfterShokz and bone conducting headphones, they aren't the best sounding things in the world. I mean, they are suitable, especially for a run, if you want to be safe out there and hear your environment. You can't beat these headphones. These are going to be the best bone conducting headphones out there. Between the two, which one would I get? I think for $50 cheaper, the regular OpenMove are going to be the one that I would choose. They are more waterproof than the OpenMove Pros. They're $50 cheaper, and the sound quality is not as muffled as these are over here. Maybe if they let you toggle with the sound on these, it may work a little bit better. But for me, I think that the OpenMoves are going to be the ones to get, especially at a price point that's $50 cheaper than the OpenMove Pro. Alright guys, that's going to be my comparison of these two headphones. Let me know in the comments which ones you would get. Would you get the brand new OpenRun Pros, or would you stick with the old Open Pros or AeroPex? Let me know in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the comparison. If you guys did, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.